took a little bit of a break from announcing wrestling, and you went to call baseball.
Yeah, calling wrestling, as I said, was kind of my hobby. I had fun with it. I enjoyed it, but I had the opportunity, and always looking forward to doing, as it then turned out. I wasn't so interested in. I did college. I was in the University of North Texas after I'd been at KRLD for 4 years. And then in 1960, the Dallas Texans and the Dallas Cowboys decided to both have a team there at the same time.
Right.
And that didn't work too well. And I worked for the Texans. In 1959, my whole career started about the late 50s. 1959, there was just no programming, for the radio stations. There was a station in town, KLIF, that set up the top 40 thing, and they ran off with all of it. So KRLD decided they had to do something, and I was there, so they decided they did Highland Park High School football. It's the first time they'd done anything like that. And then in 59, they picked up the Dallas-Fort Worth, the Dallas franchise, baseball franchise. And that had evolved into, and was dying off. Double-A ball then in those days, because of television, just went down the drain. And another problem for Dallas, their ballpark was in Oak Cliff, and Oak Cliff was dry, and you can't have baseball without beer. And it just, we'd have fans, but it was never very successful. But anyway, for me, it was successful because they did it, and I was the one that did it in 1959 on through into the Texas Rangers. That was my idea, really, was baseball. I loved baseball and I did baseball in Muskogee, so that's where I started. Class C, Western Association. And then this was AAA, and Dallas Eagles and Dallas, anyway. Then the two cities combined, and it was the Dallas-Fort Worth Rangers. And we would go to Fort Worth and broadcast a game in the afternoon, 106 degrees, and then come back over and do a game in Dallas at Burnett Field at night, doubleheader days. And but I was learning baseball, and so I couldn't do wrestling anymore with that schedule. So I just got out of it, and until then I did the Dallas Cowboys started in 1965, and went through 72, and then went to the Texas Rangers, and then the White Sox. And I'd been gone. Occasionally, if I had a day off or something, if somebody was sick, I'd go down and fill in, but that was about it.
Did you miss the business?
No, not really.
Okay.
Except, yeah, I missed the guys. We were in New York, and I was walking along with the ball club, and I think it was, man, you got me where I can't remember names tonight. Anyway, a couple of the big wrestlers were walking down there, and they saw me, and they come tearing over and pick me up and hold me up in the air. Hey, it's the little Mercer guy, and all the ball players are looking at these huge guys.
Right.
And what they're doing to their broadcasters. So I would miss it, and when I'd see those guys, and occasionally run into them, but I was too busy with the baseball stuff and football. Yeah. I was doing football and everything.
You also called a Dallas game that was outside in, I forgot where Dallas was. It was the coldest game in the history of the business.
Yeah, that was a Dallas Cowboys in 68 or 67 at Green Bay.
Yeah.
The Ice Bowl.
So you were basically the play-by-play guy for the radio, right?
I was play-by-play radio, yeah.
Crazy game, freezing out.
It was 35 below zero that morning,
It's pretty cold.
and it's still 20 below zero when the game started. It was the coldest thing I've ever worked in. I've been around cold weather, but it was awesome.
What led you to get back into the wrestling business?
My baseball career had kind of ended because the White Sox were sold, and Harry Carey wanted him back, and they didn't want me back, so that was okay. And then every time I got a job offer, it wasn't enough money to move my family of four. Something. I mean, it was just not possible. So I missed out on a couple of places to go in baseball, and I had gone back to teaching and doing North Texas, and Fritz called and said, "You're back." I said, "Yep, it's been a long journey. Well, I need a good announcer." And I said, "Well, I hope you find one." So anyway, he asked me to come back, and that was when I came back in 76.
Okay. We heard that you were the connection for Mickey Grant, who was the major producer for World Class to get into the business. Can you talk about your early meetings with Grant and how he got involved in wrestling?
Oh, Mickey. He was something. I had a job at KVIL in Dallas in 76, in addition to teaching at North Texas, in addition to all my other stuff. And I was a morning sports announcer. It was a great gig. Only had to work from 5:30 to 9, and sometimes we had special deals. But so I came in, and Mickey Grant was sort of the gopher for the main morning disc jockey, and he ran errands. He did everything. He did all the crazy stuff that Ron Chapman wanted him to do. So we would sit around and talk between my broadcasts. I had sports every half hour, and so I was doing wrestling then, and also at KVIL. And Mickey was a entrepreneur type film person who had already shot a film or documentary or two, had been to Taiwan, working over there, but he was interested in wrestling because it was this business that he knew nothing about. So we talked about it nearly every day. And he said, "Well, it seems like that they don't have any creativity." I said, "Oh, no. It's a wide shot, medium shot, wide shot, medium shot. Now, if you have to have a close-up, you've got to stop all the stuff and do an interview at the side of the ring." But that was it. Wide shot, medium shot, wide shot, medium shot. No real close-ups of the wrestlers, no. And it was, it was wrestling in 1976 in Fort Worth. So he said, "Can we do better than that?" I said, "Well, yeah, I guess we could." I said, "Let's just talk it over and keep talking about it." Well, at the time, I was buying new television equipment in North Texas for a course I taught and for the school to use in promotion of the football and basketball games. And the equipment got better and better and better. And so in Mickey, then we talked about. I said, "Look, the the cameras are going to be much better." But he had to go do a movie in Hollywood, someplace. So he was gone for a while. Came back, and by the time he got back in, it was 78 or 9. The cameras were really great by then. They were beautiful. The handheld, like bigger than this one, but able to be carried around. So we started kind of plotting it out. What could we do? Well, we need tight shots. Yeah, we need, instead of medium and wide, we need wide, medium, and a tight shot in there. You get a close-up of the wrestling, get a close-up of the activity of these guys with the huge muscles. And I said, "Well, how do we do that?" "I don't know. Where are we going to do it?" And he said, "Then we need a lot of audio, more of the sound of the crashing around the ring." And okay, that's good. We know we can do that. And so we went through this whole thing of, in our minds and on paper building a wrestling show. Lo and behold, Mickey gets a job at Channel 39 in Dallas as program producer, and it was owned by the evangelist.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a Christian TV station.
Yeah, Christian TV station.
Yep.
But they weren't doing much. I mean, they reached a point where that's all they had the Christian programming. But for some reason, he talked them into the fact that wrestling would really bring in some new people, and they probably stay and watch the Christian shows or lead into it. And how he got those Christian people to figure it out, I don't know. But anyway, so he calls me up. He's so excited. He could hardly understand him at times. He said, "We're going to do the show." I said, "Okay. I can get all the equipment we need." So we sat down and went over the newest cameras. We had Oz Coleman, who's one of the great cameramen of all time. We talked about, hey, we got to have him on the apron of the ring.
Which was never been done
Never
before.
had done before.
Yep.
And we had the cameras up, the steady camera. But we got to do the ring around the edge of the ring. These guys have to really be in athletics ability. And we talked to the cameraman about it and said, man, what if they hit us? Oh, they won't hit you. They're afraid of you because they're not sure that you'll pick up their signs and when they're telling something what they're going to do.
Spots, yeah,
the spots. And I said, so don't worry about that, and they won't bother you at all because they'll find out. Mickey and I were talking about it, that this is the first time they've really been seen, a close up, and all that, and the good-looking Von Erich boys. So we went to Fritz, Mickey and I, and said, before that, we'd gone to him and said, we got this idea, and we can go to 39 and do it, but we'd like to promote it if you'd support us as promoters. And no, he wouldn't do that. No, that's not.
Fritz didn't want to do it?
No, he didn't want us to be promoters.
Ah, okay.
Of that particular show.
Right.
And we had the idea, but it didn't make any difference. So then Mickey took Fritz to 39, and they made the deal. It was our show, but it was 39's, and Fritz always took credit for the fact that he thought of the show. But I worked for 39, so I got a decent salary. And Mark Lawrence, who had been doing the announcing in the ring, and had been around for a long time, and a very sharp guy. I'll see him after a long day, long time. He took over the Fort Worth, and we put World Class in Dallas on Friday night. And now, that was as far as we could take it. We were doing the physical part, the film, and beautiful color and all this. But what happened was this great, the wrestling god said, okay, here are all this great talent. And it was like, where did these guys come from? Where did all this come from? Where did Precious and Sunshine and gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Gino Hernandez and all these people? It was just like you had a call for talent in a serial for television.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.